The courtroom in downtown Chicago erupted as the viral video flickered to life on the massive screen. Frozen in that split second of raw hatred. A woman's face twisted in fury, her finger jabbing like a dagger at two men holding hands under the rainbow flag. She collapsed in a heap. Her scream, "It's edited. They twisted it all," echoing off the oak-paneled walls like a final, desperate plea. Before the bailiffs swarmed her, cuffs glinting under the fluorescent lights. In the front row, Alexander's heart hammered against his ribs. His fingers, still laced with Matthews, going numb as the judge's gavel cracked like a gunshot, sealing not just her fate, but the fragile empire of their love. Alexander had always believed in second chances, the kind etched into the American dream like graffiti on a subway car. Messy, defiant, full of promise. But as the ambulance sirens wailed outside the Cook County Courthouse that sweltering July afternoon, he wondered if he'd been fooling himself all along. It was 2023, and the world was still reeling from the pandemic's long shadow. But for Alex and Matt, the real plague had been the one that started with a single post on X, a 15-second clip that ballooned into a national firestorm. The video, them outside a pride march in Boys Town, sharing a quiet kiss amid the cheers, when she, the infamous Lakeview Karen, as the internet dubbed her, barreled through the crowd like a Midwest tornado, spewing slurs that cut deeper than any blade. "You're abominations. This city's gone to hell because of you people." Her voice, shrill and amplified by the phone in Alex's trembling hand, had captured it all. The spittle flying, the way she clutched her designer purse like a shield, the crowd's gasps turning to outrage. By morning, Lakeview Karen was trending, memes flooding TikTok, pundits on CNN debating the death of civility. Alex, a 32-year-old public defender with a corner office in a Loop high-rise, had seen his share of viral injustices, clients railroaded by biased juries, lives upended by a tweet. But this was personal. Matt, his partner of 4 years, a 29-year-old graphic designer with a freelance gig at a Wicker Park ad agency, had joked that night over takeout Thai, "Babe, we're famous. Should we start a GoFundMe for therapy?" Alex had laughed, pulling him close on their worn leather couch, the city lights twinkling through their floor-to-ceiling windows like distant stars. Little did they know, fame's underbelly was betrayal, coiled and waiting. Flashback 6 months, to the winter of 2022, when it all began, not with a bang, but with the soft click of a coffee shop door in Lincoln Park. Alex was nursing a black Americano, buried in case files for a pro bono asylum seeker, his wire-rimmed glasses slipping down his nose. The shop, the daily grind, was a haven for the neighborhood's creative souls. Exposed brick walls lined with local art, the air thick with espresso and indie folk playlists. Matt burst in like a burst of color against the gray slush outside. Vibrant red scarf looped around his neck, sketchpad under one arm, curly auburn hair dusted with snowflakes. He ordered a lavender latte with a grin that lit the room, bantering with the barista about the Bears' latest loss. Alex couldn't help but stare. There was something magnetic about him, unapologetic in a city that chewed up vulnerability and spat it out. Their eyes met over the milk steamer's hiss. "Rough day?" Matt asked, sliding into the stool across from Alex uninvited, his blue eyes sparkling with mischief. Alex blinked, caught off guard. "You could say that." Defending the indefensible in court all morning, Matt leaned in, tracing a finger along the edge of Alex's legal pad. "Sounds heroic." "I'm Matt, short for Matthew." But don't hold that against me. Biblical names are a family curse. Alex chuckled, the tension in his shoulders easing for the first time in weeks. Alexander Hale. No curses here. Just a lifetime subscription to caffeine and moral ambiguity. What started as small talk, favorite dive bars, the best deep dish spots, unfolded into hours. Matt sketched idly on a napkin, capturing Alex's profile in quick, fluid lines, the sharp jaw, the faint scar above his left eyebrow from a childhood bike crash. By closing time, they were the last ones there, exchanging numbers under the neon open sign. That first date was pure Chicago magic. A stroll along the lakefront trail at sunset, the wind off Lake Michigan whipping their coats, hot chocolate steaming from paper cups. Matt confessed he was new to the city, fresh from a stifling suburb in Ohio where coming out at 18 had meant slammed doors and whispered prayers. Dad thought prayer circles could fix me. Mom baked casseroles like emotional band-aids. Alex shared his own scars. Raised in a sprawling Wrigleyville brownstone by parents who were civil rights lawyers, equality was dinner-table gospel. But affection, that was harder won. They love me, but hugs weren't their love language. I learned to fight for scraps. As the skyline pierced the horizon like jagged teeth, Matt stopped, cupping Alex's face. Well, I'm all about the full-course meal. Their kiss was tentative at first, then fierce, tasting of cocoa and possibility, the kind of moment that felt like the start of a rom-com, complete with a distant jazz busker's sax. Their world bloomed from there. Weekends tangled in Egyptian cotton sheets in Alex's one-bedroom. Mornings with Matt's playlists blasting while he experimented with breakfast burritos. Alex introduced him to his eclectic crew. Sarah, the fierce lesbian paralegal who officiated their unofficial commitment ceremony, with craft beers in Grant Park. Jamal, the non-binary barista at the Daily Grind who became their unofficial therapist. Matt brought levity, dragging Alex to underground art shows in Pilsen where murals bled emotion onto alley walls, or spontaneous road trips to the Indiana dunes, where they'd hike barefoot, toes sinking into cool sand, whispering dreams under star-pricked skies. I want to design album covers for indie bands, Matt said one night, head on Alex's chest. Something that makes people feel seen. Alex traced patterns on his back. And I'll keep fighting the good fight. Together, we're unstoppable, but cracks formed subtly, like frost on a windshield. Alex's caseload ballooned, immigration backlogs, hate crime spikes post-Roe v. Wade fallout. He'd come home hollow-eyed, collapsing into Matt's arms with stories that weighed like lead. A trans teen brutalized in a bathroom, echoes of his own hidden fears. Matt, meanwhile, chased gigs that paid in exposure, not dollars, his freelance drying up as algorithms favored flash over depth. It's like the world saying, be loud, but not too loud. He'd vent, pacing their living room. Jealousy flickered too. Alex's late nights with a colleague, Elena, a sharp-witted prosecutor who shared his passion for reform. Innocent coffees turned into Matt's sidelong glances, unspoken doubts festering. Then came Pride Month 2023. Chicago's streets pulsed with sequins and bass drops, rainbows draping lampposts like festive nooses. Alex and Matt, arm in arm, wove through the Halsted corridor throng, drag queens on stilts, families with glitter-dusted kids, the air electric with hard-won joy. They paused at a float blaring Lady Gaga, stealing a kiss that drew whoops from strangers. That's when she appeared, mid-40s, blonde bob impeccable, Yoga pants stretched taut over a runner's frame. HOA president of their Lakeview condo board, Evelyn Hargrove, known for passive-aggressive emails about community standards. But here, unmasked by the mob's anonymity, she lunged. "Disgusting! Get that filth out of our neighborhood!" Her voice sliced through the music. Phone already raised. Filming. Alex froze, protective instinct surging as he shielded Matt. "Ma'am, back off. This is a public event." But Evelyn advanced. Venom spilling. "Public? This is invasion. My taxes don't fund your perversion." The crowd circled. Phones out, capturing her unraveling. Matt's face paled. Old wounds reopening. Alex's blood boiled, hitting record on his own device. It ended with security hauling her away, but the damage was viral by midnight. The clip exploded. 10 million views in 24 hours. Op-eds in the Tribune decrying bigotry's last gasp. GoFundMe for hate crime victims surging. Evelyn lawyered up, suing for defamation, claiming deepfake edits twisted her words. Alex, thrust into the spotlight, became the reluctant face, interviews on local news, his firm's partners clapping him on the back like a war hero. Matt, though, retreated inward, sketching dark abstracts of fractured mirrors. "It's like we're exhibits now," he murmured one night, as rain lashed their windows. Alex pulled him close. "Then we'll rewrite the narrative. Together." Yet, as subpoenas flew and depositions loomed, a shadow crept in. Anonymous DMs to Matt's inbox. Screenshots of Alex and Elena at a bar, laughing, her hand on his arm. Forged? Real? The seed of doubt took root, watered by exhaustion. Evelyn's trial date circled like a storm cloud, promising not just justice, but the unraveling of everything they'd built. Little did they know, the real betrayal waited in the wings, dressed in familiarity's guise. The weeks blurred into a haze of legalese and late-night strategy sessions, Chicago's summer humidity mirroring the sweat beading on Alex's brow. His office, a glass-walled area overlooking the Chicago River, became command central. Stacks of transcripts, laptops glowing with video forensics reports, Sarah barking orders like a drill sergeant. "We've got her dead to rights. Alex, timestamps don't lie." That woman's a walking soundbite for the prosecution. But Alex paced, tie loosened, the weight of testimony pressing like a vice. Testifying meant baring their souls. Matt's stuttered words from that night, the way his hand had trembled in Alex's. "It's not just about winning," Alex said, sinking into his chair. "It's about healing. For all of us." Matt, holed up in their condo, channeled the chaos into art. His sketches evolved into a digital series. Fractured flags, collages of rainbow shards pierced by grayscale slurs, pixels glitching like corrupted memories. A gallery in Ukrainian village scooped them up for a pop-up show. Echoes of outrage, drawing queer activists and curious millennials. Opening night, under strung Edison bulbs and thumping electronica, Matt stood beside his largest piece, a 6-foot canvas of Evelyn's blurred face morphing into a kaleidoscope of pride icons. Alex arrived late, bouquet of sunflowers in hand, Matt's favorite, evoking Ohio fields, weaving through admirers to pull him into a corner. "These are brilliant, babe. You're turning poison into power." Matt's smile was genuine but edged with fatigue. "Feels good to fight back my way." But the comments. People shipping us like we're a Netflix special. Couple goals amid the hate. It's surreal. Surreal turned sinister when the first crack appeared. It was a Thursday, rain drumming against the floor-to-ceiling windows like impatient fingers. Alex came home early, arms laden with groceries for a rare home-cooked meal. Matt's mom's lasagna recipe, a peace offering amid the storm. The condo smelled of garlic and basil, but Matt was absent, his phone buzzing on the counter with a notification. A text from an unknown number. Alex glanced, force of habit from case paranoia, and froze. Missed you last night. Drink soon? E attached. A photo of Elena, smirking over a martini, timestamped 10 p.m. the previous evening. Alex's stomach plummeted. Last night, he'd been buried in briefs until midnight. Solo. A glitch? A hack? He pocketed the phone, forcing normalcy as Matt breezed in from the balcony, sketchpad in hand, cheeks flushed from the chill. Hey, hero. How's the war room? They cooked side by side, elbows brushing, laughter bubbling over spilled sauce. But doubt gnawed, a quiet termite. Over dinner, candlelight flickering across Matt's freckles, Alex probed gently. Any weird messages today? Trolls ramping up. Matt shrugged, twirling pasta. The usual Bible thumpers. Oh, and Jamal says hi, wants deets on the trial. No mention of Elena. They made love that night, slow and reaffirming, bodies mapping familiar territories, whispers of I love you sealing the cracks. But in the dark, Alex lay awake, Elena's text burning like a brand. The betrayal deepened at a fundraiser gala in the Gold Coast, a glittering affair hosted by the Lambda legal chapter. Crystal chandeliers dripped from the ballroom ceiling, donors in tuxes mingling with survivors sharing podium stories. Alex, in a tailored charcoal suit, worked the room, handshakes with silver-haired philanthropists, sound bites for reporters on holding bigots accountable. Matt, resplendent in emerald velvet, a thrift find that hugged his frame like a promise, sketched caricatures for donors, his wit disarming even the stuffiest suits. Elena was there too, radiant in sapphire silk, her laugh carrying across the marble floors. She cornered Alex by the bar, flute of champagne in hand. Alex, you look like hell. Need a co-conspirator. Her touch on his arm was casual, collegial, the same as always. But Matt, from across the room, caught it. The linger, the lean in, Elena's whisper prompting Alex's nod. His pencil snapped in his grip. Later, in the coat room haze of goodbyes, Matt's voice was steel wrapped in silk. Nice chat with your work wife? Alex turned, confusion knitting his brow. Elena? We were prepping cross-exam questions. Why? Matt's eyes, usually ocean blue warmth, stormed gray. Saw the pic. Alex. The text. Missed you last night. Ring any bells? The air thickened, accusations hanging like smoke. Alex's mind raced. Hacked account? Deepfake DM? Matt, I swear, I was home alone, buried in files. Someone's trying to sabotage us. Tie it to the case. Matt laughed, bitter as black coffee. Convenient. Or maybe the golden boy of civil rights has a side hustle. I've seen how she looks at you. The drive home was silent, wipers slashing through sheets of rain, the city a blur of neon accusations. Reconciliation came haltingly, over dawn walks in Washington Park, where dog walkers and joggers dotted the paths like punctuation in their unraveling narrative. I trust you, Matt said finally, lacing fingers as ducks quacked on the lagoon. But trust is a muscle, it atrophies when stretched. Alex nodded, vowing transparency, shared passwords, open phones. They dove deeper into therapy, sessions with a queer counselor in Edgewater who unpacked Matt's abandonment ghosts, Alex's perfectionist armor. "Love isn't a courtroom," she said, her office walls papered in affirming quotes. "It's messy testimony, no objections allowed." Slowly, the fracture mended, stronger for the scar. They volunteered at a youth center in Uptown, mentoring LGBTQ+ teens on digital literacy, how to spot deepfakes, reclaim narratives. One kid, a shy 16-year-old named Riley with neon pink hair, gifted Matt a drawing, two silhouettes against a pixel storm, hands clasped. "For the Warriors," it read. But Evelyn's machine ground on relentless. Her defense team, slick sharks from a Michigan Avenue firm, subpoenaed Matt's hard drive, alleging manipulated art as evidence of bias. Private investigators tailed them, flashes in rear views, strangers at coffee shops. The stress manifested: Alex's migraines, Matt's insomnia-fueled binges on true crime pods. Yet amid the siege, tenderness bloomed, notes in lunch bags, "You're my safe harbor." Stolen dances in the kitchen to Coltrane records. One evening, as autumn leaves carpeted their block, Matt unveiled a new piece, Their Kiss from Pride, rendered in oils on canvas, Evelyn's shadow fading into ether. "This is us," he said, voice thick. Unbreakable, the trial loomed. Jury selection a circus of demographics and biases. Alex prepped relentlessly, mock crosses with Sarah turning brutal. "What if they ask about your relationship?" she'd grill. "Irrelevant character assassination," he'd parry. Matt attended every prep, his presence a talisman. But whispers circulated. Leaks from Evelyn's camp, rumors of Alex's affair seeded in tabloids, anonymous posts on Reddit's r/Chicago painting him as opportunistic. "Using hate for clout," one read. Matt scrolled in the dead of night, poison seeping. Trust's muscle twitched, threatening tear. As opening statements dawned, the courthouse steps swarmed with protesters, pride flags waving, counter-demonstrators clutching crosses. Alex squeezed Matt's hand at the metal detectors. "Whatever happens, we walk out together." Matt nodded, but his eyes held a shadow, a premonition of the storm's true fury. Inside, the air hummed with anticipation, the viral video cued like a loaded gun. And in that moment, as the bailiff called order, Alex realized this wasn't just Evelyn on trial. It was every doubt, every scar, every fragile vow they'd ever whispered. Day 1 of Hargrove v. Hale unfolded like a slow-motion car crash, the gallery packed with reporters, activists, and rubberneckers clutching Starbucks like talismans against the chill of judgment. Judge Harlan Reyes, a no-nonsense Latino veteran with a mustache like a broom bristle, banged the gavel, his voice booming, "This court will not tolerate spectacle. We're here for truth, not TikTok." Evelyn sat prim at the defense table, her lawyer, a Silver Fox type named Preston Caldwell, pacing with the swagger of a televangelist. "My client is the real victim," he intoned, projecting the clip sans audio first. A silent ballet of confrontation, Evelyn's gestures ambiguous as shadow puppets. Edited to inflame. Doctored to destroy a good woman's life. Alex led counsel for the plaintiffs, the city and the couple as hate crime advocates. Rose steady, his navy suit crisp, voice resonant. "Your Honor, this isn't fiction. Fact, raw, unfiltered bigotry captured in real time. He cued the full video, the courtroom hushing as Evelyn's slurs filled the space. Faggots ruining everything. God will judge you. Gasps rippled. A juror, a middle-aged black woman, clenched her jaw. Matt, in the front row, gripped the bench, knuckles white, flashbacks crashing Ohio basements, paternal disdain. Alex caught his eye. A silent anchor, we're here. Testimony kicked off with bystanders. The drag queen on float duty, her sequins catching light as she recounted. Honey, she came for blood. I thought fists would fly. Then the forensics expert, a wiry tech from Northwestern, dismantling Caldwell's deepfake claims pixel by pixel. Timestamps match device logs. No splicing, 100% authentic. Evelyn's cross was a witch hunt. You support that lifestyle, don't you? Biased witness. Objections flew like confetti. Reyes sustained most, his glare a warning shot. By recess, the hall buzzed, X exploding with love trial updates, supporters chanting outside. Alex and Matt ducked into a side room, the door clicking shut like a confessional. You're killing it, Matt said, pressing a kiss to Alex's temple, tasting of salt and resolve. Feels like David's slingshot against Goliath's PR firm. Alex exhaled, loosening his tie. Goliath's got dirt diggers. Stay sharp. They shared a protein bar, fingers lingering, a bubble of normalcy in the maelstrom. Afternoon brought Matt to the stand. Dressed in a simple gray button-down that hugged his shoulders, he approached the box with the grace of someone who'd sketched his fears 1,000 times. Caldwell started soft. Mr. Riley, you design graphics. Ever altered images? Matt met his gaze. For art? Yes. For lies? Never. The lawyer pivoted, venom surfacing. And your relationship with Mr. Hale, public displays at Pride. Provocative. No. Matt's voice steadied, laced with quiet fire. Love isn't provocation, Mr. Caldwell. It's survival. The gallery murmured approval. Reyes rapped for order. Then the bomb. Objection? Relevance? No. Caldwell pressed, flashing the exhibit. Blown-up screenshots of the affair texts. Elena's photo glaring. Intimate correspondence. Does this affect your credibility, Mr. Riley? Matt's world tilted. Betrayal's aftershock. He glanced at Alex, whose face drained of color, shock mirroring his own. Those aren't real. Fabricated. Caldwell smirked. We'll let the jury decide. Cross by Sarah was surgical, tracing IP trails to a burner account linked to Evelyn's son, a disgruntled IT bro with a grudge. Smear campaign, she hammered. Not evidence espionage. Matt stepped down trembling, Alex enveloping him in the hallway. I'm so sorry. I don't know how. Matt cut him off, voice raw. Not now. Fight first. Alex's turn came next day, the room thicker with tension, air conditioners humming like distant threats. He detailed the confrontation clinically, date, time, emotional toll. Her words weren't abstract. They echoed violence we've both survived. Caldwell circled like a shark. Mr. Hale, ambitious attorney. This suit boosts your profile. Correct? Donations pouring in. Alex leaned forward, unflinching. Justice isn't a ladder, counselor. It's a lifeline. The affair photos resurfaced. Alex dismantled them. Forensic audit. spoofed sender. Tied to defendant's family. Gasps. Caldwell flushed crimson. But the real gut punch landed during a recess leak. A juror dismissed for bias. A queer dad who'd nodded too emphatically at Matt's testimony. Whispers of tampering swirled. Evelyn's eyes gleaming from the table. Outside, protests swelled. Counter-protests clashing with epithets and pepper spray. Alex and Matt barricaded at home that night. The condo a fortress of takeout boxes and muted TV. "They're winning the narrative," Matt said, curled on the couch, wine glass trembling. Alex knelt before him, hands on knees. "Then we rewrite it. Elena's clean, I'll get her affidavit. But Matt, if there's any doubt left, tell me. I can't lose you to ghosts." Tears tracked Matt's cheeks, vulnerability cracking his armor. "It's not doubt in you. It's fear of us becoming collateral. What if winning means we're forever those guys from the video?" Alex pulled him down, foreheads touching, breath sinking. "Then we own it. Make it our story." They talked until dawn, unspooling threads. Matt's art as therapy, Alex's cases as catharsis. By morning, resolve hardened, a joint op-ed for the reader. Love under fire. Why we won't back down. The trial dragged into week 2. Evelyn's turn a masterclass in performative victimhood. She took the stand in pearls and pastel, dabbing tears with a monogrammed hanky. "I was scared for my community, my values. They provoked me." Caldwell nodded sympathetically. "And the edits? Malicious." My words twisted. Cross-examination was Alex's symphony. Playing unedited audio, her slurs unfiltered. Then community logs, her HOA emails banning alternative flags, complaints against gay neighbors. Values, Mrs. Hargrove, or vendettas? She faltered, composure cracking. "It's not hate, it's truth." Rebuttal witnesses piled on. Neighbors testifying to her history, harassing a trans couple, doxing a bi-teen. The jury, diverse as the city itself, Latina teacher, Korean retiree, white vet, leaned forward, pens scratching. Closing arguments crackled. Caldwell's plea for a mother's mercy. Alex's thunder. "Hate isn't heritage. It's handcuffs we choose to wear. Free her, or free ourselves." Deliberation stretched 48 hours. The city holding breath. Alex and Matt holed up at the daily grind. Jamal comping lattes. The original napkin sketch framed behind the counter like a relic. "Remember this spot?" Matt asked, tracing Alex's hand. "Where fate hip-checked us." Alex smiled faintly. "And I'd do it again. Every collision." Verdict read at dusk. Liable on all counts. Defamation. Incitement. Damages. $750,000. Plus community service at a queer center. Cheers erupted. Evelyn slumped, whispering to Caldwell. But as confetti fell in the hall, activists hugging, reporters scrambling, Matt's phone buzzed. A final anonymous drop. Video of Alex and Elena. Time-stamped. Intimate. Not fake. A forgotten moment. Pre-mat. Resurfaced by hackers. Betrayal's true face. Not Evelyn, but Alex's buried past. Weaponized. Matt's face crumpled. Was it real? Ever? Alex reached. Ancient history. I swear. But Matt pulled away. The courtroom's triumph ashes. History repeats. Alex. And I'm done being the sequel. The fallout hit like a Chicago gale. Swift and bone-chilling. Scattering the victory's embers into irrelevance. News vans clogged their street, headlines shifting from justice served to plaintiff's secret affair rocks trial. Tabloids feasted. Chicago Sun-Times splash. Love trial lovers. Infidelity bombshell? X-timelines lit with schadenfreude. Shattered oaths trending. Memes of fractured hearts over courtroom sketches. Alex's firm issued a statement. Personal matters irrelevant to the case's merits. But the damage was visceral. Public flaying. Matt vanished into his studio. Door barricaded. Phone silenced. Days blurred. Sketches torn and trashed. Canvases blank stares. Jamal staged an intervention at the shop, sliding a key lime pie across the counter. Talk. Mijo. Botlinks for wine. Not warriors. Matt's voice cracked over forkfuls. I thought we were solid. Built on rock. Not sand. But one video. One ghost from his past. Poof. Jamal nodded. Wise beyond barista bucks. Sand's what builds castles. Matt. But you gotta sift the grit first. He urged, reaching out. Not accusation, but autopsy. Dissect the wound, or it festers. Alex, meanwhile, drowned in fallout. Elena's affidavit cleared the air. Ancient flirtation. Pre-met. Harmless. History. But clients canceled. Partners side-eyed. Whispers of ethics breach in hallways. Sarah dragged him to her Rogers Park brownstone for a roast session. You're an idiot for not disclosing, but a saint for fighting. Now fix your home front. Over bourbon and bad 80s rom-coms. Alex penned the letter. Words bleeding onto pages. Matt. My love. That video? A relic from before you. A mistake magnified by malice. I chose you then. Choose you now. Not perfection, but penance. Let me prove it. He slipped it under the door at midnight, retreating to a hotel near the Loop, the city's pulse mocking his isolation. Sleepless, he wandered the Mag Mile at 3 a.m., neon reflections in puddles like fractured mirrors. Memories assaulted, their first Christmas, stringing lights on a scrawny tree, Matt's laughter echoing. Road trip to Starved Rock, carving initials into bark under waterfall spray. A&M forever, they toasted with smuggled wine. Forever felt flimsy now, eroded by exposure. Matt read the letter at dawn, ink smudged by tears, heart warring with hurt. Riley, the teen mentee, texted, saw the news. You're still heroes. Don't let haters win. The youth center called 2, Evelyn's service sentence starting. Her first shift awkward under rainbow murals. She asked about you, the director said. Said sorry through gritted teeth. Matt pondered. Forgiveness as art, not erasure. He drove to the hotel, knuckles white on the wheel, rehearsing lines like a monologue. Confrontation unfolded in the lobby, neutral ground of brass and marble. Alex rose from a wingback chair, eyes hollowed by regret. You came, Matt nodded, voice steady. To end it, or evolve it. They talked, raw, unfiltered for hours, coffee cooling untouched. Matt unpacked the pain. It's not the act. It's the echo. Am I enough? Or always the rebound? Alex bared his soul. You are enough. That fling? Rebound from my ex's ghost. You're home. Vulnerability bridged. Matt admitting his own shadows. A college hookup hidden from fear of judgment. We both carry baggage. Question is, do we unpack together? They did, tentatively. Therapy doubled down. Sessions dissecting not just the affair specter, but the trial's toll, how public scrutiny weaponized private fractures. Society romanticizes queer love as flawless rebellion, the counselor noted. But it's human, messy. Mending. Matt's art shifted. A new series, Mended Pixels, collages of broken screens reassembled into hearts, exhibited at a larger gallery in the West Loop. Opening drew crowds. Evelyn even attended anonymously, her presence a silent olive branch. Later emailing Matt, "I was wrong." Learning. Alex rebuilt too. Pro bono expanding to digital rights clinics, teaching survivors to armor against deepfakes. A podcast invite followed. The Trial That Tested Us, co-hosted with Matt, their voices intertwining like vines, humor laced with hard-won wisdom. Listeners flooded inboxes. "Your story saved my marriage. Coming out at 40. Thanks for the blueprint. The betrayal scar tissue toughened them. Intimacy reborn fiercer, nights not just bodies, but souls sinking, whispers mapping futures." Winter thawed into spring 2024. Chicago awakening in azalea bursts. They adopted a rescue mutt, Luna, a scruffy terrier with one blue eye, her wagging tail a metronome to healing. Vacations beckoned. A cabin in Door County, Wisconsin, where Lake Michigan's sister lapped at Pebble Shores. Evenings by firelight, Matt sketching, Alex reading briefs, pages forgotten for kisses. "This," Alex murmured, "is the real verdict." Yet conflict simmered, unextinguished. Evelyn's appeal loomed, her team alleging jury tampering via the leaked video. Ironically, their own plant. Depositions reopened wounds. Matt's resolve tested as old DMs resurfaced. Trolls dubbing him the jealous artist. Alex shielded, but fracture lines ached. A blowout erupted post-hearing. Matt storming out after Alex prioritized a late depo over anniversary dinner. Always the case first. Rain-slicked streets swallowed him. Phone dead. Wandering to the daily grind. Closed. But Jamal's light on upstairs. Alex found him there, curled on a stool. Pie crumbs evidence of solace. "I'm scared," Matt confessed, "of losing myself in us." Alex knelt, rain dripping. "Then let's redefine us. Partners, not prisoners." Dawn brought packed. Boundaries etched. Date nights sacred. Phones down at 8 p.m. They volunteered more. Co-leading workshops at the center. Evelyn's begrudging shifts overlapping theirs. Awkward nods evolved to coffee chats. Her admitting bigotry's roots in fear. A husband's death unraveling her. "I lashed out. You showed grace." Humanizing the villain. Threads of empathy wove. Climax brewed at the appeals hearing. A packed federal courtroom in the Dirksen building. New evidence dropped. Evelyn's son confessing to the hacks. Immunity for testimony. But twist. Caldwell's closing unearthed a forgotten deposition. Alex's off-record admission to Elena. "Matt's great, but sometimes I miss the chase." Pulled from context. Twisted. The gallery hushed. Matt's face ashen in the pews. Alex objected futilely. Heart hammering, betrayal's echo. His own words a noose. As adjournment called, Matt slipped out. The doors click a guillotine. Alex chased into the elevator bank, finding him slumped against marble. It was a vent, stupid. Prius fully. "I choose you every day." Matt's eyes searched. Stormy. "Words are cheap. Alex. Prove it not in court, but here." The ride down was silence's crucible. Streets below a blur. At home, Unpacking commenced. Alex deleting Elena's contact. Matt burning old sketches of doubt. Rebuild from ash. They vowed. Luna nosing between legs. The appeal denied. Evelyn's sentence upheld. But victory tasted bittersweet. Media crowned them unbreakable icons. Yet privately, they knew. Strength was suture, not steel. Summer fairs called Boys Town block parties, where they danced under string lights, hands clasped against old phantoms. Matt's gallery show sold out, a piece fetching 5 figures, oath renewed, their profiles intertwined, pixels mending. Alex's book deal followed, Trials of the Heart, memoir of love's litigations. Yet humanism whispered, no tidy bows. Evelyn's service ended with a quiet letter to Matt. Thank you for not hating back. They met once. Neutral ground, a park bench by the bean, mirroring distorted. Growth hurts, she said. Like labor, Matt nodded. Worth it, for the life after. As leaves turned, Alex proposed, not ring, but promise. A hand fasting under autumn oaks, Sarah officiating, Jamal DJing. Will you rebuild with me? Vows exchanged, cords binding wrists. In flaws and fire, I choose you. Cheers rose, but tears too, acknowledging the cost, the climb. Autumn's palette deepened into November's hush, Chicago blanketed in frost-kissed quiet. The handfasting's warmth a lingering ember against encroaching chill. Alex and Matt navigated the afterglow warily, like hikers testing new trails post-landslide. Publicly, they were darlings. TEDx invites, Out magazine profiles, the couple who sued for love. Privately, fissures lingered, trusts rebuild a daily devotion. Mornings started with affirmations. Sticky notes on mirrors, you're my North Star. Evenings ended in debriefs, unpacking the day's micro-betrayals. A client's homophobic slip, a coworker's pitying glance. Matt's career ignited, commissions flooding from queer brands, album art for a synth-pop duo, murals for a Logan Square nonprofit. It's like the trial cracked me open, he told Alex one night. Palette knife scraping canvas in their sunlit studio, a converted spare room, walls splashed with test swatches. Pain as pigment, Alex watched, mesmerized, his own work shifting, less adversarial briefs, more advocacy essays for The Atlantic, opining on digital bigotry's human cost. Their rhythm synced anew, grocery runs to Whole Foods debating kale versus collards. Luna's walks along the 606 trail, where elevated tracks bloomed wildflowers like defiant graffiti. But betrayal's specter stalked, shape-shifting. A documentary crew from PBS pitched, unfiltered, the Lakeview legacy, promising empathy over exploitation. Your voices could change laws, the director wooed over brunch at intro. Alex was gung-ho, platform as power. Matt hesitated, fork paused midair. Or re-traumatize. We're not exhibits anymore. Debate simmered into standoff. Alex seeing advocacy, Matt exploitation. It's always the cause with you, Matt snapped, storming to the balcony, city sprawl indifferent below. Alex followed, hands raised. And it's always hiding with you. We can't let fear dictate. Reconciliation brewed over pie at the daily grind. Jamal mediating with sage nods. Balance. King's spotlight for light, shadows for rest. They compromised. Limited access. Veto power on edits. Filming commenced. Cameras capturing raw slices. Matt's studio confessions. Alex's office impassioned rants. Intimate dinners where laughter bridged silences. Yet midway, a leak. Raw footage snippet online. Matt mid-tears. I wonder if he ever really chose me. Context gutted. It viralized as cracks in the fairy tale. Trolls pounced. Supportive DMs soured to skepticism. Matt spiraled. Studio door slamming like punctuation. See? Exposed again. Our pain. Public porn. Alex pounded fists. Frustration. Not anger. We'll sue the leakers. Fight back. But Matt whirled. Eyes blazing. Fight? That's your reflex. Mine's feel. And right now, I feel like the side character in your redemption arc. Words hung. Lacerating. Alex recoiled. The truth's barb sinking. His savior complex. Matt's sensitivity. Strengths turned saboteurs. That night, separate beds. Alex on the couch. Luna's snores his only company. Matt in sheets cold without him. Dawn brought clarity. Alex brewing coffee strong as resolve. Setting the tray by the bed with a note. You're the arc. I'm just along for the plot twist. Matt emerged. Rumpled. Vulnerable. I overreacted. But the hurt. It's Pavlovian now. They talked. Unhurried therapist tools in play. I statements. Active listening. I feel erased when the world's our audience, Matt admitted. I feel inadequate when you withdraw, Alex countered. Bridge built. Boundaries for the doc. A sabbatical post-rap. 2 weeks unplugging in the Shawnee National Forest. No signal. Just trails and tents. The woods healed. Autumn leaves crunching underfoot like whispered secrets. Days of hikes to Garden of the Gods. Rock formations arching like ancient oaths. Nights by campfire. Stories swapped. Matt's Ohio escapades. Alex's law school heartbreaks. One evening, stars pricking the canopy, Matt pulled a small box from his pack. Not a ring, but matching tattoos. Tiny compasses inked on inner wrists. Needles pointing true. So we never lose north. Alex's throat tightened. Needles buzz a vow's echo. Later, under a quilt of pines. Bodies entwined not in urgency, but union slow explorations. Breaths mingling like smoke. Reaffirming the map only they could read. Back in the city, the doc premiered at a South by Southwest Satellite Fest. Raw and resonant. Evelyn's redemption arc interwoven. Her voiceover halting. Hate was my armor. You showed me skin. Q&A drew tears. Matt's hand in Alex's. Anchors amid applause. Ratings soared. Sparking congressional hearings on deepfake regs. But success's shadow loomed. Evelyn's son, the hacker, facing charges, reached out via lawyer, sorry scrawled in juvenile script. Matt visited him in juvie. Chain link between anger eats the host. Choose better. Kid nodded. Eyes downcast. A seed planted. Humanistic ripple. Climax crested unexpectedly. Winter's grip loosening into 2025's tentative thaw. An old flame resurfaced. Not Elena, but Derek. Alex's college ex. Now a journalist penning a tell-all for Vanity Fair. Inside the love trial, deception and desire. Excerpts dripped online. Salacious spins on their past. Implying Alex's pattern of duplicity. Matt discovered mid-commute. Subway lurching like his gut. Home. He confronted. Printout crumpled. Another ghost? Or did you feed him lines? Alex paled. Derek's emails ignored for months. Now weaponized. I blocked him post-trial. This is revenge porn for straights. Fury boiled over. Dishes shattered. Accusations volleyed. Patterns. Alex. Mine's trusting too quick. Yours is collecting admirers like case wins. Matt grabbed keys. Luna whining at the door. I need air. Space. He fled to Sarah's. Couch surfing in her chaotic flat. Phone on Do Not Disturb. Alex unraveled. Office absentee. Briefs unread. Wandering Wrigley Field's empty bleachers. Ghosts of Cubs cheers mocking solitude. Sarah's tough love call. Chase him, idiot. Not with words, with action. Action manifested as reckoning. Alex drove to Ohio unannounced. Matt's family farm a snow-dusted relic. His mom, weathered but warm, offered pie and plain talk. Matthew's heart's like good soil, fertile, but floods easy. Till gently, Dad, gruff in overalls, clapped his shoulder. Boys like you. We learn late. But love's the best teacher. Armed with recipes and resolve, Alex returned. Staging an intervention at the youth center, Riley and Jamal co-conspirators. Balloons and board games masking the ambush. Matt arrived wary, Luna bounding into his lap. What is this? Alex knelt, voice steady. Us. Without scripts, he unpacked. Therapy solo. Journaling the patterns, his avoidance of depth. Derek's echo as unmet need. I choose growth. With you. Matt's walls crumbled. Tears salting the pizza. Me too. But it hurts, knowing I'm not the only chapter. Embrace followed. Group hug enveloping. Laughter bubbling. To plot twists, Jamal toasted. Healing deepened. Joint vow renewal. Intimate under spring magnolias in Jackson Park. Chords retied. Words refined. In betrayals past and futures faced. I choose you. Evelyn attended. Peripheral. Her nod a quiet absolution. Post-ceremony. A walk to the Obama Library. Exhibits whispering of resilient arcs. Civil rights marches. Personal pivots. We're footnotes in a bigger story, Matt said. Hand in Alex's. But our page? It's ours. Yet drama lingered. Humanism's undercurrent. Derek's piece published. Vitriolic but sparse on lies. Lawsuit loomed. But they let it lie. Energy for living. Not litigating, Alex decreed. Instead, a counter-podcast episode. Ghosts we banish. Raw and redemptive. Listeners tuning in for the unvarnished. Summer hummed. Pride 2025 a reclamation, them on a float. Not victims but victors. Banners reading Love litigates. Evelyn waved from the crowd. Sign, Ally in progress. Micro-victory. Human scale. By fall 2025, the tempest had ebbed to ripples. Chicago's rhythm reclaiming them like old friends. Alex and Matt's life, once a headline hurricane, settled into textured normalcy, flawed, full, fiercely theirs. The condo evolved, Matt's murals climbing walls, Alex's law books mingled with art folios, Luna's toys a chaotic confetti. Mornings blended, Alex grinding beans, Matt sketching over toast, playlists shuffling from Nina Simone to Chance the Rapper. Our soundtrack, Matt quipped, foot hooking Alex's under the table. Intimacy thrived, not as conquest but communion. Lazy Sundays tracing scars, literal and latent, laughter punctuating sighs. Professionally, arcs converged. Alex's clinic boomed, partnering with Matt's designs for client zines. Your story, unedited, empowering survivors with visual narratives. A grant from the MacArthur Foundation crowned it. Ribbon cutting at City Hall with Mayor Johnson shaking hands. Chicago's Heartbeats Queer and Just. Matt's solo show. Oaths Illuminated. Toured NYC's Leslie Lohman Museum first. Canvases of light-piercing shadows. Critics hailing a humanistic hymn to resilience. Sales funded scholarships for queer artists. Ripples widening. Betrayal's ghost visited sporadically. Anniversary pangs. Viral throwbacks, but they met it head-on. Rituals forged. Annual Truth Tuesdays. Dinners dissecting doubts over candlelight. What's haunting you? Alex might ask. Fork paused. That Reddit thread calling us PR stunt, Matt'd admit. Dialogue dissolved it, replaced by dreams voiced. Adopting a second pup, maybe a kid via surrogacy down the line. Little Hales Rylus. Sketching briefs, Alex teased. Matt grinned. Or litigating murals. Humanism bloomed outward. Evelyn's transformation. Incremental. Inspired. Her HOA reformed. Pride flags fluttering unmolested. She volunteered sporadically at the center, reading to kids with halting warmth. A joint panel at DePaul. From foes to fellows, drew packed halls, her contrition clashing with Matt's candor. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's forwarding. Q&A sparked debates. But unity prevailed, hands clasped across old divides. Climax's echo faded. But one final wave crested. Derek's downfall. His tell-all retracted amid plagiarism suits. Career cratering. He emailed Alex. Contrite. Envy blinded me. Congrats on everything. Delete. Block closures click. Instead, they channeled to a cause. Launching EchoGuard, an app crowdsourcing deepfake detectors. Beta tested with Riley's coders. Launch party at the Daily Grind, now the Truth Brew. Expanded with a stage, Jamal emceeing. Toasts to truth over trials. Winter 2025 whispered endings and beginnings. Snow dusting the lake like powdered sugar dreams. They escaped to the dunes again. Cabin fires crackling. Matt unveiling a final piece. A diptych. Their journey dual-paneled. Left. Storm-torn figures amid pixel chaos. Right. Entwined under aurora veils. Compasses aligned. Our oath, he said. Brush drying. Alex pulled him close. Snow tapping windows like applause. Sealed. Back home. Holidays unfolded tenderly. Tree trimming with Sarah's ornaments. Glitter gavel for Alex. Jamal's potluck fusing soul food and pierogi. New Year's Eve on the rooftop. City fireworks blooming like defiant stars. They clinked mugs of spiked cider. To 2026, Alex toasted. More plot. Less peril. Matt's eyes sparkled. And endless us. The story didn't end triumphant. No swelling strings. No fade to white pickets. It lingered humanistic. Textured. Love as verb. Vigilant and voracious. Mornings with coffee stains. Arguments over dishes. Reconciliations in rain. Betrayals taught not invincibility, but interdependence, two threads woven, fraying yet fortifying. Evelyn faded to footnote, her arc a reminder. Villains human, heroes haggard. In quiet moments, Alex reflected on the hook, that courtroom faint, scream of edited, a catalyst cracking them open. Without it, no depths plumbed, no heights scaled. Matt, sketching by window light, captured it once, a single frame, gavel mid-swing, hearts mid-mend. The swing that started the symphony, and so, in America's heartland pulse, Grit and grace, vice and vista they endured. Not unbroken, but beautifully bent. Two men, hands laced against the wind, walking forward. Together. Epilogue whispers. Spring 2026. A positive test surrogacy's gift. A bump under Matt's palm. Alex's hand covers. Awestruck. Our next chapter. Laughter bubbles. Luna tilting head. Outside. Chicago stirs, trains rumbling. Rivers flowing. Rainbows arching post-storm. Oaths renewed. Eternally.